Hello everyone, welcome to the CTV News on Calabash TV and on the Wave Radio 94.5. I am Lisa Joseph. Well, St. Lucia's unemployment rate now stands at 24.9%. A new publication by the Government Statistics Department says the financial crunch of 2008 resulted in a surge in unemployment. Unemployment in St. Lucia has risen by 8% during the 2008 to 2014 period. A joblessness among young people aged 15 to 24 rose by 15%. By the end of 2013, nearly half of all young adults in St. Lucia were unemployed. The tight situation has led to frustration on the ground, but there is also another dynamic at play within the workforce. The financial crunch has given rise to greater agitation on the part of workers for more benefits, chief among them increased pay. Staff at the National Insurance Corporation just a week ago returned to duty after a 12-day strike action. A number of other entities are coming under pressure. Trade unions have accused the Labor Department of falling asleep on its mandate. In fact, the National Workers Union recently wrote to the Minister for Labor, lamenting the inefficiency of the department. Minister Dr. Robert Lewis has conceded that there are problems, but says the industrial environment is also dependent on worker representatives and their fair judgment.
Yeah, there could be better arrangements where the Labor Department can work closer with some other departments. I must say I will not tell you totally that there isn't need for more efficiency. But there are issues, for example, I think that we need to address more amicably. I think, for example, sometimes there are positions that different employees take that are not in the best interest, especially in an environment where there's very little work. I mean, sometimes you have to wonder why certain persons try to withhold their labor in an environment where you can solve these issues. And if you're discussing, it makes no sense sometimes when you're discussing for people to be on strike. So my view is human beings ought to find ways of solving their problems. And by and large, we try to do that. But sometimes we can be over insensitive because I think when you're negotiating, there's no time for you to be striking if you're negotiating, because that means there's not goodwill enough. Those of us who have a job, we try to protect our job. Because I mean, you cannot make the employers create more employment for you if there isn't the avenue for that. So as much as possible, those who are employed should, as much as possible, we want to make sure they have decent work environments, but you want to make sure that at least persons understand that everything can be solved at once.
Minister Lewis, who recently participated in an International Labour Organization conference on the employment situation in the region, says all the islands are grappling with high unemployment rates, especially among the youth. He, however, put St. Lucia forth as a sort of case study for addressing the problem.
For example, I raised the issue of St. Lucia having a nice program where we're trying to create employment through that mechanism, and some countries were interested to see a paper that would show them how St. Lucia went about doing that. So I think what I really gathered, to be quite fair, is that all the countries are going through a similar situation. They're trying to adjust and try to find ways of relieving the unemployment issues in the country.